How's it going, everybody? I'm Slav-in-a-tor-ski. Welcome to the channel, and I appreciate you stopping by. Now you can see here, you already seen it from the title of the video, we have the first wave of the AxyToys dinos from Dinosaur Battlefield. I picked up a few of these, mainly because there are two different variants. You also have different colors, and I wanted to see which ones I could get. And I don't know, these are pretty cool just from the pictures. This is the first time me getting hands-on, so I want to show them off to y'all. But you know the drill. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, go ahead and click all the buttons you're supposed to click. All right, so you'll see here there is the A and B versions. Let me get that a little closer for you. So one of them comes with, looks like a pick. You have different armor and stuff on them. So this is Axy 001A or B. So the color is A is green, B is for orange. Let's see. So you have Axy 002, A and B. So you see how you have the different weapons. You have an axe, you have a pick, stuff like that on there. So you'll also see on the top here, that's green. So that's how you know this one's a green one. I'm showing these little details because I didn't know them at first, so there might be some other people that missed that. So this one is orange because you can tell by the little sticker. Then we have this one here. So this is another 001, but you'll notice there's no color sticker here. So I think this one's the white one, which is supposed to be the chase version. We'll see if that actually is. And then I have an extra one here because I went a little crazy buying all of these. So this one should be 002 in green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open all of these up and get that cellophane wrapping off all of them. And I'm going to do that off camera so I don't waste your time. So stick around, be right back. All right, the cellophane has been removed from these. One cool thing about these fronts, you see how they like magic? It's like those old Marvel cards back in the day. Do you remember those? You got the little hologram things that they would change. It's kind of neat. So they do it for all the packaging on wave 1. I'm curious if wave 2 does it too. We'll find that out. But yeah, I love how that does that. It's just magic. All right, so let's go ahead. When you open these up, you have tape here, here, and here on the bottom. So they actually give you a viewport so you can see what you're looking at. So you have a sticky right here. Now, as you can see, this one is white. It was supposed to be green, but you get chase figures. So we actually got a white one off of the green. So that's actually really, really cool. So there's a white one, and that is 002. Now for 001, we have the orange one. Don't worry, I'm going to take all these out of the packaging first. I just want to show it off, how it looks like this. And the cool thing is you can have that viewport open and still not open these. So if you're in the box collector, you can take the cellophane off. You can slice right here, and you can still kind of see what it is. And it has a hanging peg if you want to hang it. So they really thought about the collectors in mind if you want to open the box or close it. Then this is the one that should be a white one based off of that. And this one is actually an orange one, so it's the opposite. Please forgive me for the sirens in the background. There's a lot going on, but I wanted to interject here real quick. And I'm sure this is something you caught, so this is why I'm putting it as kind of a insert into the video. Some of you probably caught this and are yelling at me, but I didn't catch this at all until afterwards when I started researching. So this is not the orange one. This is the red one. Apparently, the red one is kind of a chase, along with like the white one back here. I didn't really notice this until I took a look at the orange one up close. Let's see if I can get the angle right. See the difference in color? You get the orange legs and the red legs. So that's the difference here. This one is actually rarer, so it's the red one, which is why its box also had not orange up top in the little sticker. It was just a black sticker, so that shows that it's a chase one, I guess. I'm just now figuring this out myself after the video, and I'm inserting it here in this part of the video. So once I get back to the regular video, bear with me because I did not realize at all that the red one is not the normal orange one. So I will keep referring to that for the rest of the video, but just understand I did catch it and I wanted to put this in here now. But Yeah, kind of cool. I did not realize that. I knew about the white one. I did not know about the red one. Cool stuff. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program. Maybe it's not white off that. Maybe that's more like the guessing. I'm not sure. But so we have the orange, and this orange is 001. So we have two 001 oranges. And this one should be green, and this one should be 002. So we have the green 002. So pretty cool. And of course you have everything over here to kind of explain what everything is. So I guess those icons on there. So you see that little head, kind of like the one in the black here you can see. So I guess the head is based off the tribe. So these are the carnivorous taurosaurs. So that's pretty cool. I know I've seen pictures on Instagram. I guess they have Triceratops they're working on. And of course the King T-Rex is dropping soon. I think he actually did drop by now. By the time this video is out, he will have. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up and show you all one of 002 and one of there's 002 again, and one of 001. So you can see the difference between the two and the accessories. The other two here, they're going to have the exact same accessories. It's just different colorations for them. Well, the white one, I should say, different coloration, but you get the gist. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera because I know my videos get a little long, and I know I don't want to waste everybody's time. So again, we're going to do a magical cut. All right, so pop them open, and you see here are both of them. I just went ahead and emptied out what was inside, so I want to kind of show off everything. You see how things are kind of flying around anyways. So again, this is on the left. We'll start with that one. So that is 001. There we go. I had to do that so I can keep track because all the numbers and everything. My brain doesn't like it. So you did get a cool little background in there. Some decent artwork of some forest area. And let's go ahead and pop that open. So you see here, there are two trays. So we'll look at the bottom tray first. So here looks like a necklace, some accessories. There's the pick, which is really cool looking. Looks like a bone, kind of almost Aztec style, or Inca, I don't know what style I'm referring to. So a couple more bone charms. Another one here looks really cool. Looks like a little spiky dagger. There's the tail. And then we have all the little spikes that go in the armor and the leather piece, which we'll get to that. And then here is the character themselves. You have silicone pack for moisture. The actual character, which we'll pull out. And a couple of extra hands. So let's look at the extra hands first. Both of these are closed clawed hands. As you see, they're really, really tight. Good paint app on them. But those are very tight, while these hands that are currently on them are fairly open. So tighter hands versus open hands, basically. Get that out of the way. So here is the character themselves. Really cool paint app. If you can get up close, you can see that detail, all the ridges and everything, all the scales. Looks really, really good. Now, the same warning, I will definitely say that I've heard, because I've watched some reviews for this previously as well, is there are so many spikes on this, it might destroy your fingers a little bit, so just be careful. Love the paint app on those nails. It's really well done. So there's texturing on the bottom. There are no peg holes, so keep that in mind. You do have a fur cloth, one cloth there. Plastic on the sides, kind of a softer plastic. So more loincloth. Cover up his butt cheeks, which is, they actually gave him butt cheeks. That's the peg for the tail. We have a little bit more fur up here underneath the shoulder pauldrons, which looks really good. And if I remember correctly, I do believe these come off. Yep. So they just peg right in. And that peg is a separate piece, because it's like nailing it in, sort of. So just keep that in mind, because I just found that out. Make sure that's nice and firm. And I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe all the armor on it comes off. So it's all separate armor. So you can make him completely naked if you want, or just the loincloth. I believe these side pieces pop out too. Don't make me a liar. Maybe, maybe not. That's kind of tight. I'm stretching the plastic, so I don't want to break it. So, yeah, if you're going to pop those side covers off on the armor, just do so at your own risk. I'm not sure if they're actually supposed to come off, and that's all the plastic. You know, when you bend plastic, it starts to look white. I don't want to stretch it and break it. Now, one thing you'll notice is all these holes. That's where all the spikes come in from the tray that's over there, which we'll look at that in depth a little bit more. But we'll go ahead and I'll show off the articulation, which is actually really good. So keep in mind it's going to be the same for that one. So let's get a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera down so I can show the articulation on the countertop here, or tabletop, whatever. Start at the head. So the head is one piece altogether. Let's get rid of those pauldrons for now, so we can show the articulation a little better. Actually, I'm going to leave that on because it'll show the limitations. So the neck, the one criticism everybody has with Wave 1 is that the head and the neck is a bit limited, which I would agree with that. It is one piece, but you get some okay up and down. You have to rotate like that to look side to side. It very, very little side to side movement. The head itself, look at that eye. The paint app on the eyes are good. He doesn't look cross-eyed. So that's really good. Let's see, it should be, there it is. The mouth is articulated. Every one of those teeth, it's a hard plastic, but they're all separate. You have some decent paint app inside. Let's see. It seems like the top of his head wants to move, but I think it's just a separate piece glued in. So you can just make that mouth move. We already looked at the neck. So let's look at the trunk. So you see we have a piece here for his chest. Then you have the abdomen. And does the abdomen flex more? I do believe you get a little bit. So as far as torso flexation, I'm going to hold the hips steady. You get some decent articulation there. For the front, torso flexes really well. There we go. It's loosening up a little bit and letting me kind of really get it. So you can get some good ab crunch in there. As far as the arms go, now as you loosen up, you see he is actually loosening up a bit. So keep that in mind. It's not floppy enough that it's loose, but you can kind of feel it loosening up so you can move it better. So you get a good T-pose, a little bit more than a T-pose on this arm. This is why I wanted to leave the pauldron on. You can see how it does limit slightly the arm. Arm goes just about all the way around. Now he is this part here for his tricep or trap, shoulder muscle. Sorry, it's late at night. My brain is dead. I apologize, but that is limiting this a bit because this is kind of wide for the muscle for the shoulder. So, but as you saw, it goes all the way around. You have a bicep swivel, which very nicely goes all the way around. You have his elbow, which is a single joint. So you get a good 90-degree bend, and it has kind of an elbow cover here to cover up the little joint in there, which that's pretty nice. Again, the wrist armor does come off. That pops off too. So you can make the armor look pretty much however you want. It's kind of cool how it's all customizable like that. Hands go all the way around. As you see, I took the armor off, so the armor does get in the way. And you can look at the wrists and see just how they flex. Like this one, it's going to flex in and out like this. The one over here is pretty much the same way. Flexes in and out, depending on how it's mounted on there, because that's just like a ball joint. So we're going to look at the legs now. They go pretty darn far. You see how the joints are in there. So it's the same joints that like the Zesray figures use in Mythic Legions. So I think that's pretty good. so it's something you're familiar with. It's kind of a big old ball joint on the top there. You get some rotation on that. Don't go too far because it feels pretty tight. Single joint on the knee, so you get good 90 degree. Again, this armor will pop off if you pop his foot off, which I'm not going to try because I don't know, I have bad luck with that. I think I'm just too clumsy to do some things. The foot, pretty good flexation on that. And I like the toes. Those are done really well. You have good rotation. I'm going to say very little tilt, if any. Like back and forth on there. So let's have him do a pose. Let's have him just stand, see if he stands by himself well. Which, yeah, honestly, he stands pretty well. You do the blow test, blow on him and see if he falls over. You know, some figures, it's like if you sneeze in another room, they fall over. He's still standing pretty good, so I like that. Not bad at all. So let's slap his other pauldron on here. I love the fur in with these. It gives it a real kind of Wildlands feel. All right, put him back. Oh, got to put his little arm thing back on him. And I'm going to go over the accessories now. They're a little bit different. This is going to be a longer video, so after I'm done with him, I'm going to move on to him, but you don't have to worry about articulation. Like I said, it's the same. So let's go ahead and dive into this tray. I'm trying to be real gentle because this stuff is small. And I'm not good with small stuff. So here's the baggie. You've got all sorts of stuff. So you have little bones, which are accessories. You have hooks. You have spikes. You have knobs. You have a leather... I guess that's like a leather carrying pouch for the knife. So I'm going to start with the important thing, his tail. So you don't have to use it, but it is a part of him. It's not really bendable. Good paint app on the tail, though. So it goes right in his butt. You see right here, you have this piece that connects here. And I don't think you can do it the other way. Well, yeah, you can, but that just looks weird because it's not right. The paint app's different, so let's see how easy that pops on. Somewhat easy. One more. All right, let me just do this off camera. All right, and that kind of works as like a tripod, so he can lean back a little bit because the tail supports his weight in the back here. So as you can see, you can poke him and he won't fall over so much. And then the tail does move up and down. So pretty cool. Let's move that. Here's his necklace, and it's got a little hand dangling on there. So maybe evidence of past hunts or something like that. So we'll just throw that right on his neck. I want to get that under the armor so it looks more natural. There we go. Kind of dangles down pretty far, doesn't it? But looks cool, gives it that tribal look. I'm just going to dive straight in. I was going to save the hammer for last, but this thing's just too cool. I love the design on this. Nice spiked hammer. Good paint app on the leather. It almost looks like alligator skin for the leather. Really cool. And that should fit into his hand pretty easily. The hand's plastic is a little bit softer than the rest. Of course, as usual, heat it up to get it in there. So it's thicker down here and a little thinner up top. So we'll go ahead and do it that way and then slide it out. There we go. So it fits in his hand pretty easily. But let's move that down just so he's holding it. The smaller hands would probably have trouble holding that, to be honest. It's kind of thick. See, now he's not wanting to stand upright, so let's get that tail down. So let's look at the smaller hands. These are probably more for the dagger. So yeah, that is way too small unless you super stretch it out to hold that pick. All right, as far as other accessories, so we have another peg with a bone. So let's say you want to put that right here. Give them a little bit more tribal look. Here we go. So now there's a bone dangling there. Here's another one. It's like a nice little skull and a few other bones and stuff on there. This one comes with a hook, so you can hook it on things. Like if you wanted to hook it on there to give them an additional one, you can kind of put that wherever you'd like. Then there's another bone with a little spike on the bottom of it. Little metal spike. Also pegged, so you can go ahead and peg that in here. Or wherever you want. Like, you don't have to peg these the same way I do. It's one that's right there, so that's where I'm going to put it. And then you have, it looks like a Triceratops horn. His dagger. Which it will fit in his hand, but that's why they gave you two hands, because that's way too loose and it just falls right out. Unless he's kind of holding it like that. So, we're going to get into these spikes. So this little baggie, as you heard, a lot of those just came out. I'm going to lose one of those if I'm not careful. So I'm going to move the camera down. You can see all the spikes here. So you have two of those little brown horns. You have two hooks. Looks like everything's in pairs. Two little curved horns, two little points. Yeah, everything looks like it comes in pairs. More claws. Except whatever that is. That's... No, there's two. So yeah, everything here comes in pairs. So every one of these holes, you can peg these in at. So if you want to put these on his knees, you can. If you want to put those other spikes, the other horns on his knees, you can. Into his pelvic protector, into the sides here. Anything you can. I'm not going to do that now because I don't feel like tearing up and having a bleeding hand for the rest of this video. But you can put them on there. You can put them on his gauntlet, which honestly, it would look really badass in the gauntlet. And then we have this here. This should be the holder for his knife. All right, so it's two pieces of leather, lightly stitched together. There we go. So it's just like that, and then you can put it around him if you want to put it like bandolier. Might be able to do that. You'd have to get it around his arm. Let's see how difficult this is going to be with all the armor on. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. So you're probably going to have to pop him apart if you want to get this around his waist or around his shoulder or something like that. So just keep that in mind as well. Like I said, I'm already wasting a lot of your time, so I appreciate you sticking around to watch this. So I'm not going to sit here and peg all these in for you. So I'm going to reset up this setup. My God, that was redundant. I'm going to clean this up and come back so there's less. I don't waste any more of your time. This video is already very long. All right, we'll take a close look at him now. As you see, I got everything opened up. There are slight differences in the armor. From what I could tell, the little cod piece here is a little bit different. And the shoulder pads are a little bit different. The other one has a big spike shoulder pad there. He just has two of the regular, looks like little pyramids on them. As well as he has spikes on his feet. Dual spikes. He has singular spikes. He has the singular spike there. He has the different spikes there. So a little bit of difference on that. The horns as well are different. They go in different directions. Color scheme, obviously. He has the same thing as the other one. He has the two smaller closed hands as well as these large open hands. The sculpt on everything else is pretty similar. Pretty much the same from what I can tell. So let's get a close look at him for you. The green looks really good. Mouth is super pink. His fur is brown where the other one's is black. Again, another really good looking figure. The back. I love all the scales. Good paint app too. So in his tray, you have a little bit of different in terms of accessories. So I'm going to move the camera down. On his, you get the tail. His dagger is actually different. It's not a like Triceratops horn. It looks like a bone more folded around. And again, really good paint app on that. He also gets the same accessories to go into his shoulder pads as the other one does. So like this one, you know, up on his shoulder pad up here. He gets the same accessory on that, as well as the hanging accessory. It's actually a little different. So the other one had a skull down here. He has a hoop. And his necklace is a little bit different too. It doesn't have the hanging hand. It's more of just a plain old necklace. So I'm going to throw that on him, because he deserves to have his necklace as well. And of course, he gets a cool looking axe with a really good paint app. You have a spike on the bottom here in metal, an axe, and the spike part of the back. And if you look at the coloring, you can see how they painted it. It looks nice and worn and rusted. They did an excellent job with that paint app. Of course, his tail, and then he has the pouch of stuff. It's the exact same spikes and bones and everything, so I'm not going to make you go through that again. And the holster for his dagger. It's the exact same as the other one. So, get that out of the way. We're going to move the camera back up a bit. Put his tail on. Same thing. Just put it right on there. You do have to put a little bit of force on there, but once it's in, you're pretty much golden. And his necklace decided to come off. Put that back on there. And we'll slip it underneath the pauldrons. See, it's a little tricky, but just keep fiddling with it. You'll get it. And one of the cool things about these figures, like, you don't have to leave those pauldrons on. You can actually take those off, so let's do that. It's hard to find a spot to move things around on these figures without touching these spikes. They are sharp. They will let you know that they're sharp. And you'll you'll remember that they're sharp. All right, so that's actually pretty good in there. I'm just going to leave it for now, because I don't want to soak them in hot water or break out the hairdryer. It's late at night. I don't feel like taking off everyone in the house. So he looks good. We'll get his hand up, get that axe in the hand. Oops. So same thing. The thumb's going to be a little bit movable, so I'm going to find the smallest portion of the axe around and get it around his hand. There we go. Very nice. So then you can have him maybe grabbing it, holding the axe, something along those lines. There we go. It looked kind of intimidating. Again, really good paint app on the eyes. His eyes are, well, they're both very orange, so they're pretty similar. But he's not cross-eyed. The app is done really well. But let's get them both out here, dead center. And there we go. Let's do a little zoom, so you get nice and close up on them. But these figures look absolutely fantastic, I think. Well worth the money you can get them at. They're great. The packaging is fantastic too. Normally you don't see that in a lot of figures. Packaging is usually just kind of, they know you're going to throw it away. But these guys, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to throw away that packaging. That's too cool to actually get rid of. But there they are. I hope these helped you kind of see what they look like up close and get an idea for them. And again, the white one will be exactly the same depending on if it's 01 or 02. 01 or 02 depends on, tells you what accessories you're going to get in the weapon and armor. But the white one is the same exact thing, just white colored on the scales. But yeah, hopefully you like this. I hope that, I thank you for sticking around. I apologize for it being so long, but I had a lot I wanted to go over with for everybody. But let me know if you end up picking these up. Which one's your favorite? I know there's the Carnotaurus leader, and then there's the T-Rex, which is going to be big mamma jamma. Like, he's like ogre scale compared to Mythic Legions. Speaking of which, that just reminded me, I need to do comparisons. So before I leave, I'm just going to do a bunch of comparisons where I put figures next to these. I'm not going to talk about it with my big mouth. You've heard me enough. I'm just going to play some music, put the comparisons up of them next to each other, throw these guys on a turntable so it looks really cool. You can see them surrounded or spinning around, and good to go. But that'll be right after this portion. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you did like this stuff, you know what to do. Hit all the buttons and everything like that. I'd greatly appreciate it if you do that. But hope you stick around to see the last little bit. And that's it. We're going to go in, and I did, full disclosure, I did order the T-Rex and I did order the leader. So you could probably look forward to those coming out soon. All right. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your year, and I hope your new year is awesome. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to any future content I have coming. As usual, a like is always super appreciated. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Share this video with any of your friends or groups that you think may enjoy it. And let's talk down in the comments section. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you would like to interact more with the channel, you can find me at my socials on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I post any contest entries and reference codes for contests I enter on Twitter, so that's another reason to check it out. I also have a TikTok account I created where I upload tease videos for upcoming YouTube videos as well as shorts. I am also getting back into gaming content on the Xbox Series X, and I'm looking to start doing streams again on Twitch, which I'll upload to YouTube later. Thanks again for stopping by, and I hope to see you again next time.